Hello and welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about a ticker with SXTC, China SXT Pharmaceuticals Incorporations. First things first, I'm going to be looking into the technical analysis, then I'm going to go look into the news, and I'm going to give my opinion on it. So, technical analysis regarding this stock here. I can get to see a little bit in terms of the willing percent R. It's becoming an overbought, which is a little bit of a very dangerous situation to be in, where it can easily reverse into a red. So that's my first red flag. My second red flag here is the momentum is at an insanely high level. And it might be a little bit hard to maintain it. And you can see that in a similar way into the unbalanced volume, where it is increased up to a level that might, where you have a lot of bag holders. The only way this stock is to continue on with going green is one of two things. So increasing of volume. So you can see the volume here is quite a lot. I think around almost 10 times more than the average. The MACD was on a way downwards, and it kind of increased on the way. So we're gonna look closer into it to see whether I have positive aspects for the stock or not into more of a micro level. In terms of the average directional index, this is a perfect situation to be in. So this is my first green flag. Average directional index looks amazing. 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, perfect. It's under the 200 SMA, still considered at a cheaper level than what I would consider. Now, the stock is sitting at, let's look into the 1 hour. 0.657, and so I don't see any supports nearby, so I'll have to look into the 1 year, 1 day. To around 0.65 is my current support. Yeah, so 0.65 would be my current resistance, actually, followed by let's try to see what the system actually tells us. So it's 0.65. What am I getting here? Okay, it's not showing, but that resistance and support has been on a very previous level a while ago, so might not be very trusted. However, you can see here on MACD into the 1 day level that it's actually decreasing, and that might be a little bit of a dangerous level to be at. And if it picks up again, that means more green. If it drops, it means it's gonna continue on to that trend from higher to a little bit lower. Now, what we're seeing here in the average directional index is that it increased quite a bit. As I said, 25 to 40 is my perfect place to be. It's going to 45. Once it hits 50, if you're holding this, I would recommend to sell. You can see the willing percent R, it's maintaining in terms of the status of over bought, so that's a little bit dangerous. Now let's try to see any trend lines that we're looking at, as well as Fibonacci retracements. First things first, I'm going to be looking into the moving averages. The stock right now is above the moving averages. I think the highest point it's probably going to meet tomorrow is probably going to be 0.5. So I expect some kind of pullback within the next day or so. For it to go back to the moving averages. VWAP is not populating. All right, so let's try to look into the 6 months 1 day. It's not populating. All right. Let's look into any trend lines that I can see. Let's look into a 3 months 1 day. It's hard to maintain that level for a trend line. Let me try my best here. Say there's something happening here. B1. If I hold it around here, okay. This could be a trend line right here. I'm trying to maintain this one here. Could be a trend line. Same time, I think this trend line has more of expired because since it's more of an ascending triangle that already broke through. So after an ascending triangle breaks through, it is not substantially sustainable. So in my opinion, this stock might actually receive a little bit of a pullback. Let's look into Fibonacci retracements, and I'll then give my opinion. Fibonacci retracements levels. Okay, perfect. We're gonna go to 1 month, 1 hour. Retracements. here, we can get to see around 0.63. So then my support would probably be around 0.63 to 0.65. If it drops below 0.58, it might continue dropping down to the previous support level or resistance, current support level, previous resistance level at around 0.55 to 0.53. So 0.53 to 0.55 is the confirmed support for this stock based on this 1 hour chart. Around 0.58 is a pivot point, and around 0.63 is a pivot point. These are very important points to look at. You can jot them down and look at into trading tomorrow. Most things important is if you buy on the bottom below, don't get greedy. Even though you might get 60%, 40% is pretty good. Usually the rule that I follow is 30% up, 10% down. If you're sitting at 30% up already and higher, you're fine. You don't need to try to figure out how to maximize this stock, because it's very hard to locate the top or the peak. All right, so this has been my DD. I personally would not touch this right now, especially after stock has gone this far. However, if there's hype and there's a lot of pumping going on, you might want to scalp this. But with every pop, usually there's a decline, and you want to match that. I usually don't go for stocks that have had a run already unless I'm scalping. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what other tickers you want me to DD. I'll be happy to do so. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, share them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.